everyone, so it's B-Rox, your favorite stress management coach and wellness coach. All right, so today we are going to be talking about the questions that you need to ask when you're going through difficulties or challenges or you're presented with problems. All right, now challenges, situations actually cause us stress. All right, but the truth is, it is not the situation itself that is actually causing us stress. It is our thoughts, our perception and interpretation about it that is actually causing us stress. Because a lot of times when we go through challenging situations or we go through difficulties or we are presented with problems, we actually don't see the challenge as it is. All right, we see it far worse than it is. We end up creating worst case scenarios in our head. We're thinking of what could happen. What if this were to happen? What if that were to happen? And then we're thinking, if this were to happen, this is what will happen, and that is also. We create so many worst case scenarios, which will lead to our mental stress. All right, so, but we also make the mistakes of always asking ourselves disempowering questions when we go through difficulties. All right, a lot of times we're always asking ourselves, why me? Oh God, why me? Why now? Why me? You see, we're always asking the why questions, and that is a disempowering questions, because when you ask yourself the why questions, you will come up with reasons, explanation, excuses, justification as to why what is happening to you is happening. All right, and that is actually disempowering, because you are not going to overcome those challenges by asking the why questions, because why will actually make you feel like victim of the circumstances. It will actually take away your power and you will feel helpless, you feel hopeless, and that is what leads to depression, because you feel fear, and this fear will lead to paralysis and then depression. So you don't want to do that. That is why you don't want to be asking the why questions. So what are the questions that you should be asking yourself when you are going through difficulties or challenges or you are presented with problems? So let's look at some few questions that you should be asking yourself instead. All right, now the first one is, how can I use this? How can I use this? Because that will actually help you to focus more on the solution to your problem instead of focusing on the problem. Because when you focus on the problem, just like the law of focus, it will magnify the problem, and then you will not see it as it is, you will see it far worse than it is. You see, so you want to ask, how can I use this? When you ask yourself, how can I use this, it shifts your mind from the cause of the problem to the solution of the problem. All right, and then the second question you want to be asking yourself is, how can I learn from this? How can I learn from this? A lot of times they say experience is the best teacher. The truth is, experience is not the best teacher. All right, it's only evaluated experience that is the best teacher. That is why you find out that we make the same mistakes if we have not learned anything from the previous similar situation that we were in. When we go through difficulties and we don't learn anything, life will gift us the same or similar situations until we learn the lessons that life is teaching us from it. All right, so you want to ask yourself, how can I learn from this? How can I learn from this? And then the third question you want to be asking yourself is, how can I make it better? How can I make it better? You see, when you ask yourself, how can you make it better, it will also help to shift your focus. You see, so, and these are questions that will actually empower you, because when you ask yourself these empowering questions, you will also get this empowering response. For example, if you ask, why are you this stupid? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Why me? You will also come up with reasons, explanations, or justifications as to why you did that. Sometimes you find yourself, especially when you're in your unresourceful emotional state, you find yourself saying, it's because I'm stupid. You see, you begin to believe those lies and stories that you tell yourself, those things that people, those negative things that people had said concerning you, they'll begin to replay in your head. You see, so that is why you want to ask better questions. Then the fourth question you should be asking yourself is, what can I stop doing in order to make it the way I want it to be? So what can I stop doing? What do you need to stop doing? Because it is our behaviors. You see, our result is determined by our behavior and our thought patterns, right? Because how we do anything is how we do everything. We've been conditioned a certain way, so it's the effect of what has been happening, you see. So what can you stop doing, or what are you willing to stop doing, you see, in order to make it the way you want it to be? Because you need to know what you want. What do you want? Because first you need to ask yourself, what do you want? Do you want to continue feeling the way you are feeling now, or you want to change the situation? The truth is, a lot of times we want to change the situation, but we are not focusing on how we are going to change the situation. We are focusing on, why did this thing happen to me? You already ask yourself, what are you willing to stop doing in order to make things the way you want it to be? So the fifth and final question is, how can I enjoy the process while I try to make things the way I want it to be? How can I enjoy the process? Because a lot of times we postpone our happiness. We are like, oh, when I start earning XYZ amount of money, I will be happier. I will be happy. When XYZ, whatever happens, I will be happy. When this and this happens, I will be happy. When I start earning XYZ amount of money, I will be happy. When this thing, you see, so we always postpone our happiness for when our situation or conditions will improve. But what if you start being happy today? Because that will put you in a resourceful or empowered state, so that you can actually take the right action, to bring about the change that you desire. So if you are going through difficulties, you should ask yourself these questions and they will help. But if you think it's a situation that is beyond your control, then you should seek professional help. All right? So, and if you want to learn stress management techniques, or you want to learn relaxation techniques, or you're looking for how to manage your health and relationship stress, then you should send me a DM for consultation. All right? So until next time, have an amazing day. Bye for now.